So, AzoSports.com posted this article. It's 3 reasons for optimism after the Bengals 0-1 start. Let's go and get right into it. So, starting off right away, the first point they say is defense playing as advertised. And yes, that is the one takeaway I will say from last week. A lot of people trashed our defense because, like, oh, you gave up 23 points or 24 points. You couldn't get a stops every single drive. And I say many, many times for those people, please shut your damn mouths because our defense was out there every single play of that game. It was a monsoon. It was bad. It was ugly. And yet our defense was still out there and fighting the fight every single play. And if you go back in that game, the first half, other than the last 30 seconds to go in the first half, where Deshaun Watson ran a touchdown, our defense allowed 3 points in the first half of that game before Deshaun Watson ran that touchdown at the very end of the half. Second half, yes, they did allow 14 points. But again, you got to keep in mind another thing. One, they did get a crazy interception with Dax Hill, which is awesome. They got 2 sacks on Deshaun Watson. And the only other touchdown they allowed was literally when we went for it on 4th and 1 and did not get it. And I think that was in the fourth quarter. So that was one of the 2 touchdowns they allowed literally at the end of the game when it was already over. It was already over, and we went for it in 4th and 1, and we didn't get it, and then they got the ball back, and bam, they score a touchdown. So our defense is playing as advertised 1,000%. From our secondary to our linebacking core, our pass rushing group wasn't the greatest. We did get after him, again, like I said, twice in that game, but we definitely, weren't the greatest in that game. But again, it was the first time our defense really played together this whole entire training camp preseason. I'd say we did have one drive in the Falcons game, but other than that, our defense has not had any actual, in-game play time, right? We didn't have Joseph Asai in that game. Again, it was a monsoon, so it was hard to get after the quarterback. It was hard to, make some moves in that game. It is what it is, right? But our defense definitely played lights out. And we got to give them credit for that. And that is one reason to be optimistic for this upcoming year. Because we got punched in the mouth. We did. But our defense still stood tall and gave it their all and did everything they possibly could do. 2 sacks, a turnover is absolutely amazing. Number 2, Cam Taylor-Britt's second-year jump has begun. And even in that game, he looked good. Again, like I said, it's another part of our defense being out there every single play. I mean, we punted the ball, I think, 9 or 10 times in that game. And most of the punts we had were absolutely dog water. Brad Robbins was struggling a lot in that game. Now, it was his first NFL game, and with that being said, there was a lot of problems with the weather. So I'm not going to really put everything on him. But yeah, it was a really bad field position. We kept losing field position. We kept, losing the field position battle. And we had Cam Taylor-Britt, Mike Hilton, DJ Turner, Cheeto out there really showing off and making sure that, this game did not get even more out of hand than it already was. And it really could have gotten out of hand quickly. So, Cam Taylor-Britt, and I would say, I'm going to even go past this point here. I'm going to say even past just Cam Taylor-Britt, also DJ Turner is another reason I would say I'm excited about this upcoming season, to see how he develops as a younger guy. Cheeto's on the final year of his final year of his contract, right? Because of that, we don't know if we're going to bring him back next season. DJ Turner, Poison Ivy, these are guys that are going to eventually become replacements for someone like, Cheeto, for someone like Mike Hilton, etc. So these are all guys that we're slowly over time, we're going to see the older guys get phased out and the newer guys come in and become starters. I'm not saying we're not going to bring back Cheeto again. Like I said, it depends on the contract situations and the cap, whether or not we bring back Cheeto. But if we do lose Cheeto and he is 29 years old, it's very possible we just see DJ Turner and Poison Ivy really get pushed up a little bit more in this depth chart, and they're going to have to step up. Obviously, Cam Taylor-Britt's another guy who's young. We have 3 young cornerbacks right there who really are going to have a chance here to take over and become the future of this Cincinnati Bengals secondary. And, he's just one of the three guys. And that's another reason to get excited, is to see how those three players develop throughout the season. Yeah, we're not going to see much of Poison Ivy. He was, inactive in the first game. And unless injuries happen, knock on wood, hopefully never does, that we're probably not going to see much of him this year. Again, we might. It really depends on how they want to do their defenses. Because Jalen Davis, me personally, I would rather have Poison Ivy out there than Jalen Davis. He's our fourth corner at this moment in time, and I think Jalen Davis, while yes, I think he's okay corner, I think Poison Ivy is better. So I put Poison Ivy out there, but we're going to see all these guys and how they get better throughout the season. And again, like I said, you draft somebody for the idea of not only having a roster spot right now, but a lot of times when you draft someone, it's to replace whoever you have on the roster who might be older and eventually you're not going to be able to bring back. So that's someone, again, like, Cheeto or Mike Hilton eventually, that you're like, it just won't work out. But I think we'll bring both them guys back. I'm just speaking in, like, terms of what could be a reason, So, again, that's number 2. Number 3, this is the bottom for the offense. And 1,000% I agree with that. Listen, this is, as it says right here, this is rock bottom, right? This is the lowest of the low. Our offense scored 82, or offense had 82 yards. Well, not offense. Joe Burrow had 82 yards passing in that game, right? Our offense couldn't move the ball down the field. T. Higgins had 9 targets. All of them were overthrown. Jamar Chase caught like 3 or 4 passes, and that was it. This is the lowest of the low. There's nothing lower than what happened on last Sunday. So whatever we do the rest of the season, whatever happens, we lost 24-3 last Sunday. It's only up from here. So those who are like, oh, doom and gloom, this is only going to get worse. No, because anything we do moving forward is actually technically better than what we did in that game. We pretty much practically did nothing in that game, right? On offense, at least. Defensively, we played great. But offensively, we pretty much did nothing. So anything we do, even if we score 1 touchdown in the game, let's say we play the Ravens, right? And we score 1 touchdown, we kick 6 field goals, and we win the game 23-17, right? And it's all just like field goals because we only scored 1 touchdown. That right there is 150 times better than what we did in week 1 versus the Browns. So again, this is rock bottom. This is the lowest of the low. There's only up from here. There's actually a mentality in life that says the best thing about hitting rock bottom, there's no going lower. You just go up. On everything you do from then, when you hit rock bottom, everything you do after that is just a plus. It's a positive, right? Because you're like, well, I'm already here at rock bottom. Anything that happens that's positive, I'm just going up from here. And that's exactly what we're going to do moving forward. So again, those are 3 reasons to get excited for this season and be optimistic about the rest of the season. I know there's a lot of Bengals fans who, upset. Oh, I can't believe it. I'm done with this team. I can't do it. Listen, if you want to leave, leave. But at the end of the day, we're going to go win a Super Bowl. So if you want to leave after week 1 and say that you don't believe in this team, then don't do it. But after the week 1 does not mean anything. We're going to finish this year off with a Super Bowl victory, bringing the Super Bowl home to the Queen City, and everyone else who wants to leave, go do it. Because it doesn't matter. We don't need you right now. If you can't be with us right now, we don't need you in week 22 when we win a Super Bowl. Who day out.